Hello, I'm Greg Johnson with Discover Canada RV, which is a blog my wife and I just started a couple months ago. We're going to make this video on upgrading our electrical system. Our RV batteries last year was last year for them, and they were not in very good shape, so we did a little bit of looking, or quite a bit of looking actually, when we were in Mexico over the winter, as far as into which direction to go into. Lithium has a lot of pluses. The biggest obstacle, I guess, would be that they're very, very expensive. But after doing some research and reading and reviews on lead acid, lithium, and other batteries through bloggers and otherwise, I mean, the internet has so much information. We decided to go with lithium. I think, and from everything I've read, your bigger bang is there. The lifespan should be at least 10 years, which the lead acid, you'd be allowed to get 2 or 3, and you can't get the power out of them. You know, if you don't have a battery monitoring system of some sort, you don't know how much power you're drawing from your system, and they only recommend you, I mean, I've heard as low as 80, take it down 80%, and then I've heard you can go down to 50%, but after that you just start deteriorating the life of the battery. And they're not, you know, batteries are not cheap. And if you got to replace them every 3 years, that adds up rather quickly. And having reliable power is a huge issue. If you're boondocking out at the lake and whatever, you can't afford to run out of power. Canbat, where we purchase our batteries, is actually out of Vancouver, British Columbia. So they're a Canadian company, which is for us is a plus. So, you know, as they say, if you can buy from your own country, keep the jobs in the country. Better product, I believe. Hopefully better service if you needed, and warranty. You know, it comes with a 10-year warranty as well. Also, I think with the battery, you can see it's something you can get up close to 5,000 charges out of it, complete charges. So that's a big deal. And the batteries cost us about $1,000. We went with 3. My reasoning to go behind 3 was you get 300 amp hours, which will give you lots of power for over an extended period of time. And the biggest factor probably was that we have an electric motor. So it was nice to be able to take one of these batteries out of the system and use it for the summer or long periods of time for our electric trolling motor. And I have used it as our electric trolling motor and extremely impressed. First of all, it's about a third of the weight, so that's nice. You don't have to carry it around. It's not as heavy to carry around. Trolling, and it lasted for a long time, so in saying that, it is brand new, but still a pleasant surprise. Extremely happy at the moment. So right now we have the 2 100 amp hours, and the other one is in the truck, like I said, for our trolling motor. The only thing you got to be concerned about now is when you reinstall that trolling motor one, that you have to charge it up. That way it's not going to get a high inrush of current to try and charge it if it's low. So that's a precaution you got to be careful of. This Canbat, like I said, when we purchase our batteries from them, they have a deal with PayBrite, and so you're able to purchase these batteries over a year's period of time, kind of equal payment thing, no interest. So it's like, it makes it somewhat more affordable. Anyways, we went that route, and again, we're happy. Shipping was free, so that's a plus. What little bit of service we've requested of them, they've been really helpful in that respect, and they got a good website. So again, I will link something to that. So the other side of the coin is, what do you need for a solar system, a new power system? So in going through that, there again, we went to the web and we found CBI Solar, which is out of Red Deer. I was looking for somebody that could guide me and lay out a system that works well and has the proper protection. I am an electrician by trade, but this is not my forte, so I went with somebody who's done a lot of this, and as up to date, I am extremely happy with what I've gotten from them. They're more than willing to help, easy to talk to, suggestions. So we are going to be putting a couple solar panels on the roof. They're 305 watts apiece, so that should give us 610 watts of perfect power, if there is such a thing. Cloudy days, time of year, how much sun exposure these panels get, but we don't use a whole lot of power. The basics, we're in air conditioning. We don't do it a whole lot on 120 when we're plugged in, so if it's something that we're going to do on solar system, it's something we'll have to look into a little bit more yet. But for now, for us, it's basically like a coffee pot, microwave, maybe a little TV, computer stuff. So we should be quite comfortable. With that, I'll take you through our system. To where we are to date. Like I said, right now the solar panels are not in, they are not mounted, but we have a 400 amp disconnect mounted, feeding a bus bar, a positive and negative bus bar. We also have a Servo GX interface and an HMI display, which gives you the display of the how much power is being used, how many amp hours have been used, where's your power going, is it coming from the battery, are you charging the battery? With this new upgrade for our electrical system and these 3 batteries, we are going to be mounting them inside the trailer. Our trailer is a toy hauler. We no longer have the toy, so we've made a bedroom in the back. This is where we're going to mount our batteries, and we're going to have all the electrical mounted as well. It's convenient, gets the weight from the front end. Again, with the lithium batteries, the weight's been decreased by at least a third, or 2/3, sorry. I've started to build a cabinet to hide the electrics. I mean, you don't want to be looking at them, and again, you don't want to be dropping anything on the power connections either. So when we're all said and done, I think it'll look really good, and we'll be happy with it. So without further ado, I will show you where we are and what we've gotten to. So this is one of our Canbat batteries, 100 amp hours, lithium. It's a lithium iron phosphate battery. And I'm sure people have heard that lithium batteries can be dangerous, cause fires, etc., etc. Well, not so much with this style. So they're extremely safe, no maintenance, they don't give off any gas, and they give you a true 100 amp hours. Again, we've gone through Canbat 26 pounds. Can't say enough good things at the moment. So I'm not too sure how well you can see, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, I'm doing this filming after the fact. I'm starting to frame in my cabinet. But there are two batteries here. You've got the one here, and there's room for another battery here. This here is just a silicone boot that I put over top of the lead. So if something accidentally comes down there, it's not going to short things out and cause a huge problem. So that's what the little boot's about. And then just to the left there, you can see the other battery. And this is where I've taken out my ground, tied it onto the frame. I brought two out there. One is to ground the inverter, and the other one is to ground the negative of the system. Hopefully it's all well protected. I may realize it's in a well, but we'll keep a good eye on it for now, and then we'll make sure it's we don't have any issues with it. But it's convenient, so it should be good. So this is our back door to our toy hauler. We had an existing cabinets that we installed, and we basically use them for foodstuffs. So we had a little bit of area that was not being used, so we thought we could mount our batteries underneath there. So we have enough room for 3 batteries, and if I really want to push it, I could probably get a 4th one in there. CBI Solar again laid out everything inside the cable that we needed, so it's 4-aught diesel locomotive, which is very flexible and basically easy to work with. And then we use a distributor in town to do all our crimping, because I don't have the tools to properly crimp that large cable. But it looks good, and it's not taking up much room. And like I said, once it's all finished off, it'll be enclosed. You'll never know it's there. So this here is our positive terminal block, negative terminal block, our 400 amp disconnect. This device up here is going to be our 400 amp fuse feeding our inverter. In here you've got a shunt, a 500 amp shunt that goes on your negative side. I realized I failed to mention earlier, but some of the products are through Victron, and Victron has got a very good name as far as solar is concerned. So CBI uses Victron components, so there should be no problem with this. This will be our interface. This will be where we brought in our shunt back into, and then also from here we've gone in to feed our HMI. Bluetooth is flashing here. Your power is there. You can also tie in some tanks, also give you some inputs and outputs for different types of switches or devices. This cable here is our AC. I've ran it already. I just haven't used it yet because we don't have the inverter in yet. And I talked about our HMI interface, and this is it here. I'm really not too sure how well that's going to come out. I mean, light's always an issue, but you can see we're at 100% charged, 3 watts, 13.6 volt, and we only got 13.6 because that's all my converter that came with the trailer will give me. But once we're on solar, we'll get that up to 14. Here's the draw power. You got pages and menu. Again, you got 13.6 volts, 100% charged, drawing 0.2 of an amp. Gives you your time, any alarms, like here's your tanks, but no tanks found. Your AC load, AC input, AC current. So you have lots of information here that you can use. I will have another video, or I will make another video showing all our miscellaneous upgrades, but you know, as you know, that's a trailer. You don't have a whole lot of room, so you gotta make do with the room that you have and optimize it to the best of your ability. And that's what we've tried to do. But this will work well. So it gets the weight from the tongue area. Once the sides of the door are on there, you know, like I said, you'll never know it's there. Very happy with the installation so far. I did make mention about this is a toy hauler. We don't have a toy, so we made it our garage into a bedroom. This is just a quick picture of the bedroom so far. I mean, it's not going to change a whole lot, but like I said, I'll make another video showing of all the little upgrades that we've done to give us some more room, make life a little more comfortable. We all realize that room and comfort sometimes don't come hand in hand, or don't go hand in hand. So I'm not so sure how well you can see this. Behind this battery, we used to have a heat duct come into the garage, now bedroom. So we ended up taking the heat duct out. Number one, you don't want to have all the heat in with your batteries. And the other side of it, what it did, it gave us a way to get from our batteries to our breaker panel converter system. So that's what we're doing here. Just behind the battery, you can see where the wires come down. Just behind that, they go through a hole and then to our bathroom. So they go through that heating duct area underneath the bathroom sink, through the area here, which is the ducting raceway, goes across, and behind the DC panel, AC panel, is where we brought our cables into. You know, and I've said this before, RVs, they're made, there's no care when they're put together. I went in there and started working, and the sawdust, I mean, everything was there from all the holes being drilled. No cleanup, no nothing. So it's the long and short of it's disgusting. For the money you pay, the product should be better than what it is. That's another subject. Another point that I mean to bring up, I talk about a solar system, you know, for microwave, coffee pot. When I say solar, what I really mean is, at the end of the day, we will be putting an inverter in, and this inverter will give you your 120 volt. Solar only gives you a charging, gives you power from the sun, which charges your batteries. From your batteries, we will be going through an inverter, which will take our 12 volts and give us a 120 volt AC output, which at that point will power the items that I talked about, as in coffee pot, microwave, etc. So when I say solar, I kind of mean the whole thing. Solar inverter like system. It's a complete system at the end of the day. I truly believe if you're going to put the system in there, you should take the next step and put your inverter in, and you've got your 120. You know, it's so much nicer than listening to a generator. You don't have to worry about the fumes, the noise for your neighbors, etc. So it's a standalone system, and at the end of the day, that's what we want. So again, when I mention solar, I mean complete system.